You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. I fought for it. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at. That he gave it everything, that he went for it.
What's the most important key to success? I think it's hunger. It's not getting satisfied. Anyone you respect who's achieved at the highest level, intelligence is an incredibly important distinction and a valuable thing to have in life. But I always tell people, you can find so many intelligent people that can't fight their way out of a paper bag. What matters is hunger. A hunger that doesn't go, a hunger to learn, a hunger to grow, a hunger to serve, a hunger to give, a hunger to create breakthroughs.
Number one lesson I could offer you where your work is concerned is this: become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed. Finally, this will save you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you.
Never stop thinking about how to delight your customer. Not to satisfy your customer, but to delight your customer. And when you wake up in the morning, start thinking about it. During the day, think about it. At night, think about it, and then dream about it. And no company's ever failed that had millions of delighted customers. And you start with them and you get them one at a time.
This is what champions do. This is what people who win perpetually do. They don't give a fuck what's happening in the world. They don't let the distractions of the day pull them off course. Do those things make it harder for them to do it? Yes. But what does that mean? It means that we focus. It means we get more disciplined. And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all of the pain will be for nothing.
My favorite line that Rich Dad said, he said, money may not be the most important thing in the world, but it affects everything that is. You know, it affects your lifestyle, it affects your health care, it affects your level of education, it affects everything on a day-to-day basis. It affects the food you eat. So it may not be the most important thing, but it does affect everything that is important.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. A, you can tell them bad news and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derail the whole conversation. You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. So that's a good thing. And then this is a weirder thing. You can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
What does school teach you about money? And the answer is nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. I knew that. Most people know that. But the way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know.
5 years of building my business, I was hyper-focused, like laser focused, because all I wanted to be was the queen of New York real estate. Had in my mind on day one, had it on day two, I had on day 14, and it never left my mind. I was hyper-focused on who I wanted to be. All the work was about getting there, but that's the zone I was in.
The famous Bruce Wayne. Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. So let's put a couple tables together.
I'm not sure that they'll let us.
Oh, they should. I own the place.
One of my jobs as the leader of Amazon is to encourage people to be bold. It's incredibly hard to get people to take bold bets. If you're going to take bold bets, they're going to be experiments. And if they're experiments, you don't know ahead of time whether they're going to work. Experiments are by their very nature prone to failure. But big successes, a few big successes, compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work.
Change your relationship to fear. I've said this before. Fear is not the enemy. The feeling of fear is just like any other emotion. Fear is actually informing you. Fear is telling you that you need to do something. Either do more research, get some support, get some insight, study a little more, slow down. Fear is actually feeding you. So then ask yourself the question, what do I need to do, think, or go get to dissipate this fear.
Fear is, always with you. I don't know anyone that, honestly can say they don't have fear in life, You have fear of something, or another. But if your motivation exceeds fear, you're always going to overcome it.
I was thinking about suicide every day, and I had nothing to be upset about. I was heavyweight champion of the world. I was 27 years old. I had money, fame, glory, a family, achievements, kids, everything running so smooth. But it didn't matter because mental health will bring you to your knees if you let it.
For so long I was searching for a real love, but I finally found my real love. And that real love is me.
I advise you to seek out, as your partner in business, your partner in life, whatever it may be, look for the people that actually examples to you rather than somebody that you need to straighten out yourself. Associating with people that will cause you to move in a better path than you might otherwise have. They will take you so far in life that it's hard to believe.
The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. The greatest version of you is the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused. I know what I'm supposed to do, and that ain't it. I have to stay right here. It's the version of you that has parameters.
Think for yourself, question everything, and believe in yourself. When you're falling, don't pretend like you're not. When you're hurting, don't pretend like you're not. Find people that uplift you, not tear you down. It's a crazy world. But you got to understand this. We got one life. This is your life. One life. So why not work to be the greatest version of yourself for yourself?
One of the most important messages I have for entrepreneurs is that failure should inspire you to get smarter. And unfortunately, our school system says if you fail, you're stupid. That is not true. We learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to get smarter, be humble, and take a look at something.
When's the last time you went shopping?
Houston, a week ago.
What'd you buy?
An airline.
The fact that I'm gonna die one day and that everyone around me is gonna die and no one will remember me after a certain point makes me feel so good. Like, because I could do the best thing in the world and nobody would remember it ever, and I'll die and it won't matter, and everyone else around me will die and it won't matter. Or I could do the worst thing in the world and that won't matter because I'll die eventually.
Do not go into a job thinking about money. Because if you go into a job thinking about money, you're not going to get the most out of it. If you go into a job loving it, being passionate about it, you're going to get everything you got coming out of it.
Act like the person you want to become. And the reason why this is so important is we know thinking alone won't get you to change. You actually have to take the actions that change everything.
Excuse me, is this the new Rolls Royce?
That's a $350,000 car, sir. It's really expensive. I don't know if you can afford it.
I'm paying cash.
Okay. I am genuinely confused. Where did you get all that money?
I'm a multi-millionaire.
Here's a piece of advice. Next time, don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't try to be the best. Be the only. Be the only. There's only one Terry Crews. And with Terry Crews, you gotta get Terry Crews. You know, you see in scripts, they're like Terry Crews type. You know, I don't know. I love everybody. I love The Rock. I love Kevin Hart. I love all these other guys. But I'm Terry Crews. You never be like me. And I'll never be like them. I'm the only. And by being the only, you are the best.
And when you spend from a belief that every cent you earn will be your last, you operate from a place of scarcity, a context that runs counter to the energy of abundance. Money, like all life, is an energy exchange. You give yourself over to whatever you're passionate about, and what comes back to you is energy in the form of monetary compensation.
A lot of people want to be successful, but they want to go to the club on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday.
on Sunday, and then on Monday, they're getting outperformed by everybody in the fucking office, and they're wondering, why don't I get the raise and the promotion? Shut your fucking ass up. That's why, man. Get to work, you know, and that's something that I do. I don't give a fuck about the social media, about even hanging out, man. If it's not productive to what I'm doing, I'd rather just get some rest time and go to sleep.
If I'm the most talented or the best singer or the best songwriter in the room, I'm in the wrong room. You know, I'm always trying to get better. A lot of the greats, I think, understood that, and I want to be great, so I surround myself with people that are great.
Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. If I had to know everything about connecting people before I got started, I never would have built Facebook. Movies and pop culture just get this all wrong. The idea of a single eureka moment is a dangerous lie. It makes us feel inadequate because we feel like we haven't had ours yet.
If you're going to school, what your parents will say? You must be number one. If you are number one, what about all the other 30-40 kids who are there? They must be below you.
They're losers.
They're losers. So your joy is only in other people failing. When your joy is about other people's misery, that's not joy, that is sickness.
You finally made it to the big leagues, and now you want to chill? Now you got the big head, now you can't grind? You here now. You here now. You finally made it. And this is where you break up? This is where you start chilling? This is where you get comfortable?
Happiness is the key because there's so many people that you see either in this industry or just in life in general that are going through their days and may have everything they could ever want, but they're not happy. You have to focus on what makes you happy and make decisions in your career, in your life that make you happy.
In 1 month, I got 9 views and 2 subscribers.
2 subscribers?
Yes, sir.
The key with me is just always finding what the anchor is. And the fucking anchor is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day before anybody else and grounding my thought process as in the no one will outwork me. No one.
When you're able to become successful, you meet people in life that kind of help motivate you and inspire you. And you never know why people are put into your life until you actually get around them. But how we just collectively inspired each other, and then you sit back and you just say, I'm truly blessed.
If you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. No matter how smart you are, you will encounter these mistakes. When these mistakes come, this suffer comes, you know how to deal with it, how to face it. The book I want to write is Alibaba 1001 Mistakes. Life is not how much we achieved, it's how much we go through the tough days.
Know what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
Your legacy is every life you've touched. We like to think that these great philanthropic moments are the ones that leave the impact or will make the huge difference in the world. But it's really what you do every day. It's how you use your life to be a light to somebody else's.
It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you.
If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness, that's, you know, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working toward. I just think about that, like this shit ain't supposed to feel, you know, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, you know, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it.
Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, you could be successful in anything.
You normally are.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now.
Today is very tough. Tomorrow is more tougher. The day after tomorrow is beautiful, but most people die tomorrow evening. You have to work very hard. Every tough days, every tough situations, problems you meet, that is the training of yourself.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number two, practice OQP, only quality people. And the third thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? Don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
In a world that's changing so quickly, the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk.
People perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B. To me, it is very dangerous to have a plan B, because you're cutting yourself off from the chance of really succeeding.
CEOs and leaders have to be lifelong students. And not just students in the sense of attending courses or reading a book or two. You've got to learn how to read widely, walk the market, look at trends in the marketplace, make connections that don't seem obvious, and start to paint pictures of what the future could be.
We all need the 3 B's. It's balance, breaks, and boundaries. Balance, not only do we work hard, but we need that love, that girl time, that support. Breaks. I always tell like the young entrepreneurs, team no sleep, no, that's not cute. No, please get your rest, drink your water, replenish yourself. And then boundaries. Set your boundaries. Whether if it's showing up, doing a favor, just know that I love you, I respect you, but I can't do it. Because if I'm drained, I won't be able to serve you.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. So what's happened along that process? You've learned to love the journey, right? You love the journey. Man, when you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect, right? Because it doesn't matter. At that point, I don't care if I can lift this much weight or run this fast. I mean, that's cool and it's great and I love it, but I don't love it as much as I love the journey. I love the journey. What does the journey consist of? Sucking at something, failing, getting better, learning, start a new journey, start it over, do it again.
We live in a world where anyone has the right to say anything that they want about you at any time. But just please remember that you have the right to prove them wrong.
You want this money, you want this, you want what I got, you gotta put in the fucking work. And as far as I'm seeing, nobody's putting in the work. Nobody's there, everyone's talking, everyone's thinking, just because Connor has it, I should have it. No, I didn't always have it. There's a reason why I have it. I had to work my fucking bollocks off to get it. So, and here I am still working while they're talking.
The goal is not to be successful and famous.
That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, it's to live your life out through that.
Right.
One. And two, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal.
I like the color. You like the color? Yeah. Yeah, I had mixed reviews on the color. Some people said they like it, some people said they don't like it, and I said, well, what color is your Bugatti? Oh, fuck off then.
Sometimes I remember I was training morning, I go home, rest, I come, I training nighttime, I go home, and I was like, no, it's not enough 2 times. I have to go one more time, and sometimes 12, 11 p.m. Sometimes I was going, I remember, like, to the training. I train 3 times in the day, come home, okay. I have like 5-6 hours to rest, because 7 morning is gonna become
it sounds
new
like
training. Like, sacrifice everything what I have. I will sleep, train, eat, repeat, and that's it.
If you are really confident about your financial situation, you probably are not going to be wearing an 8-pound chain around your neck. Because you know, oh, I got bank. I don't have to show you how much I got. I feel good.
Struggling well will get you what you want, okay? Rather than avoiding struggle. If you realize that, then you will go to the struggle. Because if you don't struggle, you won't get stronger.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. All of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have.
Protect your energy. Yeah. Do things with people that you love. Give love, try to receive the love back, and just be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be.
I would say to a young person, you can choose a life of ease and comfort, or you can choose a life of service and adventure. Which one of those, when you're 90 years old, are you going to be more proud of?
If you really want to be transformed, you have to live an intentional life. This is so simple, I don't want you to miss it. Most people don't lead their life, they accept their life. And when you accept your life, you are living on things that are not worthy of your time and effort and energy.
There's nothing to gain, nothing to lose in this life. You came with nothing. Whatever the hell is happening, you're on the profit side, isn't it so? So all you have is how profound, intense and beautiful is your experience of life.
The real message is we all started from no. I mean, we all had bullshit jobs. We all felt like losers. But through time and effort, you build a stronger human. You build a stronger body. You build a stronger mind. You build accomplishments and will and momentum. And then you look back and you go, hey man, I'm not washing tables anymore. You know, I'm not washing dishes. I'm not cutting lawns. I'm not digging ditches. Yeah. You know, I'm a different person now, but I used to be.
You have to have that vision for the future. Number 2, you have to have the strategies to make the vision a reality. But number 3, you have to be able to share that vision with other people.
I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
One of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur is finding and learning from everybody else on what they're doing, their negatives and their positives, and create your own lane. So therefore, anytime you come across opportunities, you guys have the leverage in that deal. Look, I've been in the game 20 years now, and this is my first year completely independent.
High performance people fly like eagles. Eagles fly alone. Zuckerberg has no mates. Elon Musk has no mates. Steve Jobs had no mates. Bill Gates has no mates. And I can go on and on and on and on. They don't hang. They don't chill. They don't go to the Super Bowl. They don't go to the World Cup. They don't go to Wimbledon. All they do is work. I fall into that category.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
This is what champions do. This is what people who win perpetually do. They don't give a fuck what's happening in the world. They don't let the distractions of the day pull them off course. Do those things make it harder for them to do it? Yes. But what does that mean? It means that we focus. It means we get more discipline. And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all the pain will be for nothing.
So did school fail you or you failed school?
School failed me. School's failing entrepreneurs every single day.
Because?
Because it's not built for entrepreneurship. It's built for workers. You know, if you're being taught to play within the lines, and there's nothing being taught that maps to the entrepreneurial market. As a matter of fact, my biggest cynicism when I sit across an entrepreneur today is if they are too successful at school.
You got lucky. Guys like you always think other people get lucky. I don't get lucky. I make my own luck.
We like to view the world as linear. I'm going to put in 8 hours of work. I'm going to get back 8 hours of output, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. The guy running the corner grocery store is working just as hard or harder than you and me. How much output is he getting? What you do, who you do it with, how you do it, way more important than how hard you work.
I've asked people about your genius. No, I'm a bright guy who's terribly interested in what he does. I've spent a lifetime doing it, and I've surrounded myself with people that bring out the best in me. And you don't need to be a genius in what I do. That's the good thing.
I want to hear shit from you talking about you being broke. If you're not working in 60 hours minimum a week that you're getting paid for, turn off YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and get your ass out there. Go down there and work at McDonald's, Circle K, get you a job. I don't care about your pride. You can't be proud and broke at the same time. Go work, and then you take that money you make from your part-time job, invest most, and take half of it, invest it to your future.
Many people say you're their hero, but who's your hero?
That's a great question. Well, I think my dad is my hero because he's someone that I look up to every day, and
I was so driven, and I'm not gonna say motivated because motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed.
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed.
When should entrepreneurs, if at all, pivot? I have a very simple rule to this, and I tell them all when I invest in them. If you're not making money after 36 months, 3 years, you got to take it to the barn and shoot it. Because it's just a hobby. It's not a business.
Industries can go from terrific to terrible. There's a great expression in the textile industry that helped me a lot.
Textile industry, yeah.
It's always darkest before pitch black. Just when you think things are terrible, they get terrible squared. I mean, so just because industries are getting bad, that's not a reason to invest. Wait for things to get better.
Always keep going. Always. No matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent. Eventually that storm passes.
You see this guy here staring back at you? Yeah? That's your toughest opponent. Every time you get into the ring, that's who you're going against. I believe that in boxing, and I do believe that in life.
Andrew, I have this problem, I'm depressed and I can't go to the gym. I say, no, I disagree. You're depressed because you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you might start to feel better, right? I'm saying you can't sit as a man and afford the luxury of saying, I have a mental health issue today, I'm sad today, I'm stressed today, I'm emotional today, I can't work, because you will lose against the men who don't do that.
Let the sand represent your life. The sand in the bottom of the glass would represent the past. The sand in the top of the glass would represent the future. There's nothing you can do about the past. That is gone. Too many people spend their time living there, wishing they had done this or wishing they had done that. It's gone. The only time you've got is right here, right now. So being worried about the past or the future is foolish. If we make up our mind we're going to do what we feel is the best thing for us right now, we're going to have a pretty good life.
Every action you take is kind of like a vote for the type of person you want to become. And if you can master the right actions, if you can master the right habits, then you can start to cast votes for this new identity, this desired person that you want to be.
When I'm myself, I feel comfortable. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. At least you're being yourself. What is being perfect? You build up something that doesn't exist. For me, perfection is being yourself. And I am being myself. People like it or not, I don't care as long as I'm being myself.
You don't have to know exactly what you want to be when you grow up. You just have to try different things, and even if 99% of them fail, you only have to be right one time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong, you could pick the wrong career, you can pick the wrong job, you can pick the wrong spouse, you can pick the wrong whatever. But you get it right one time, you're set. But if you don't try, and if you don't go out there and try all those different things, you'll never get that one time.
But the other great secret is that we're good at lifelong learning. Warren is so much better in some ways in his 70s and 80s than he was younger that it's almost awesome. If you keep learning all the time, you have a huge advantage.
And we have a wonderful group of friends, really wonderful.
From whom we can learn a lot.
It's part of my sacrifice, my obsession to win, to have success. You know, I worked for that. Talent is not enough. I dedicate myself so much that this is part of me. Records is part of me. I don't follow the records. The records follow me, which is different.
Are you addicted to winning?
Yes, I am. I'm addicted to the success.
Great leaders are students of leadership. No matter how achieved they may be, they're still learning. And it's a lifestyle. It's the lifestyle of what I need to do to look after people, which includes things like listening, learning how to give and receive feedback, learning how to have effective confrontations, how to discipline when necessary. There are many, many things we have to do and constantly work on to be a great leader to create that environment.
My work is my pleasure, and my pleasure is my work.
Correct.
And success to me is not even about money. It's more about just like being right. And I love the idea of figuring shit out. I'm almost happiest when I'm struck. My highest value is to try something, not get it right away, and have to work hard and then figure the shit out. And it's no better than cracking the code after something doesn't work the first. I mean, this would be great if it does, but usually it doesn't, right?
Correct.
But I love that feeling of failing and then succeeding.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
The first million is hard, but the second million is inevitable. It's not becoming a millionaire that's important. It's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. You're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. And you might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking.
Yeah,
and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do.
When you play sports and you're committed to something, the commitment, the responsibility of showing up to practice on time, to being there for your teammates, to listening to your coaches, it's a responsibility that you have when you're playing with a group that you have to hold your end of the bargain and shape me to who I am today.
Sure, go get your MBA or start that business. We need black businesses out there, but ask yourselves what broader purpose your business might serve in putting people back to work or transforming a neighborhood. The most successful CEOs I know didn't start out intent just on making money. Rather, they had a vision of how their product or service would change things, and the money followed.
You had that third failure in a row. Did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Many years ago, I had this conversation with my mentor, and he asked me the question, Dan, what do you think is the #1 quality of an entrepreneur? And I said, team. And I said, good idea. I said many things. He said, no. He said, the number one quality of a successful entrepreneur is this, and that is the ability to endure pain for a long period of time. Didn't talk about the Ferrari, didn't talk about the big house, pain for a long period of time. Is that you?